Cloud. All right, now we're live and recording. No, Chicago, come here. Well, how's everyone this morning? Good morning, Hope. Good morning, Chris.
Morning.
Morning.
Just to remind you guys, the office is closed today in observance of Juneteenth. Chicago, no. So I got to deal with my doggies here at the house.
Okay.
What kind of cool things you guys got working on today?
I've got a dilemma. Oh, I'm sorry, Angela. You can go first.
Well, I just have an open house. That's all.
Oh, well, that's
Woo,
good.
woo.
That's nothing. That's awesome.
What's the dilemma though?
I'm working with a lady, and she desperately wants to sell their home. Her husband does not. So I'm in the middle. I'm trying to work with both of them, give them options. And anyway, she was going to talk to him again last night, and he doesn't really want to sell. He said he would rather maybe rent it and maybe consider moving, but it's all still maybe. Anyway, to the point, I'm just like, look, I'm here for both of you, and to just provide you options and have you both think about the different options you have. And if you have any questions, let me know. There's no hurry. I'm not trying to push you into anything you're not comfortable with. And when you're ready, just let me know. And I've gave them several different options, including that I have renters that could rent their home, and I have a buyer that would buy it as is and renovate it. So that's because the one issue is it's got a lot of repairs it needs done. So, and he doesn't want to do them or to sell it or rent it. So that's one of the dilemmas. So Dan, what do you think?
It's one of those things you're just gonna have to keep presenting him the options, and it'll whittle him down.
Okay.
When you keep talking to him, say, hey, we can still help you out. Hey, I got a buyer. Hey, we just sold a house in this neighborhood. Hey, it'll just keep whittling him down.
Okay.
Or if you have a buyer right now, do you think that's interested?
Mm-hmm.
Take him an offer.
Yeah, I actually already told him I have a couple that are actually looking for a house just like theirs that needs some renovation that they could get a little bit under market value. And they've already been approved by a lender to be able to do a renovation loan because he's a contractor.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah, I would stay away from telling a seller that sell it under market value.
Yeah.
That's the trigger term. I would definitely say the words kind of like, I've got a buyer that's interested in buying a house similar to yours in the condition that it's at, and don't worry, you won't have to do the repairs to get market out of it. So
yeah, that's what I did. I didn't say that. I just said that way, if you don't want to do the repairs, you wouldn't have to, just kind of like that.
Cool.
Well,
good morning, Ellen. She's in there making breakfast, yelling at her kids.
Good morning. I'm celebrating Juneteenth by making breakfast for my children. So I have a quick question though. What was her original motivation to get in contact with you to talk about selling?
It was on a Facebook ad. She was looking at homes, and dreaming and hoping and wishing. And so when I first called her, she goes, I'm just looking.
Okay.
And that was one of the things we were talking about a week or so ago. I'm like, well, okay, well, if you're just looking, what area are you just looking in? And and then she started talking to me, and then when I start presenting her with things and she wants to talk to a lender, it's like, oh, well, my husband doesn't want to sell, so that's my dilemma. I'm like, okay. So
okay, because excuse me, I mean, if it was like, I want to be closer to my grandkids, this house is too big for us, like anything like that.
She just hates the house and hates the neighborhood and wants to move. So
there you go.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Hatred is a fantastic motivator. I hate to say it, but it really is.
Hey, I've gotten rid of more for less. So.
Right.
But that was just my question, is that, maybe going back to that and somehow touching on both of that, because you know, they say, and excuse me, gentlemen, but they say happy wife, happy life. It's true. So at what point does he go, okay, your happiness is more important than me just not wanting to move? Anyways, I digress. Thank you for coming to my
like
TED
it.
Talk.
I was going
like
that way. I was saying that another option, you could always tell her they're yours, so she could get her own place and he could stay there.
If anything, we
I'm
are on
not going to go there. I'm not going to go
we're-
there right now.
we are definitely on a lady heavy call right now, so we can definitely get their input. So yeah, it's just myself, Jason, and Chris, and there's 7 others.
Be careful what you say.
Oh, I'm never careful about what I say. I reap every repercussion of what I say gladly. It makes my life more interesting. If I ever run for president, the stuff they're gonna pull out and try to slander me with, ooh, like yeah, I said it. I think that's the problem is everyone tries to combat it and go, no, I didn't say that. No, that's not me. That wasn't you. No, I said it. I meant it. But I think it's just because everyone knows that I genuinely care about everyone and I'm loving. Like my friend Garrett, he actually said the other day, he's like, you radiate positivity and love.
Oh, that's
I was
sweet.
like, wow, you don't spend enough time around me.
And you're humble. Don't forget you're humble.
Right. Yeah, I was not in the headspace this morning to be like super coaching and motivating and stuff like that. I was like, you know, I should have jumped on the call with some of my favorite people. I'm working from the house because I'm actually technically off today. So the office is gonna be closed, but I was like, I'm gonna get on the call at 8 o'clock because I know there's gonna be people there. And it's always the same great group of people that are always here. We just have some infill. So I want to say thank you guys for always being dedicated to your craft and dedicated to your own businesses. So it all starts with having a set schedule. I mean, Charity and I had a nice chat yesterday. And it was kind of like eye-opening to look at what you're doing every day. Look at what you're doing every single day. And is it hindering your ability to be productive? Or is it fostering an environment where you can be purposeful and productive? So,
So, hey, Dan, since the office is closed, am I allowed to still go in and do it?
yeah. When the office is closed, just the staff is off. So use your card, boop, go on in.
Oh, thank you.
That's the sound the doors make. I just got commented on my booping. Boop. But other than that, we're into our scripting time now. What do you need help with? What are you gonna attack today that you want to get a little supercharged? Like right now is your time for some lead generation. Last night on the PC call, we talked about lead generating and some areas and topics that we can utilize to generate some leads, and 5 of them were free. So I know that you guys have some potentials.
I'm going to be reaching out more. Yesterday was nice. I took some groceries to an elderly couple down the street, and haven't actually met them. I just talked to them on the phone, and they're really nice, very appreciative, scared to get out of their house because of the COVID stuff. So, and I've got a pretty good stock of other contact information of people in my neighborhood, and I'm just going to reach back out and offer to help during this crisis, especially now elevated.
We're definitely seeing a resurgence. There's a huge spike, so now is definitely a time to get back in touch. It's like we recycle like you're doing. I love it.
Yeah,
recycle.
and the heat. You got to stand outside at Trader Joe's and even the meat market, and if you it's hard enough on me. And I'm not a senior citizen yet, but I'm getting there, and I can't imagine if I was in my 80s or something, I have to stand out in this heat to get some burger or whatever. It's not easy. So that's why I want to reach back out and see if I can help people in my neighborhood and wear my red shirt, so I don't even have to say I'm with Keller Williams. It's just right there like a big billboard.
Nice. I like it.
I need some Keller William gear. I don't have any.
Redstore.com.
I do too.
Redstore.com, huh?
Redstore.com.
Time to
No,
buy
Red
some
Store?
gear.
Oh, it's a Red Store, so a Redstore.com. You guys haven't seen Mr. Moose in a while, so I figured I'd bring him on camera.
He's getting big.
Killing me. We were looking
Oh,
we were looking at puppies yesterday online, and because you can't go to the Humane Society, you basically have to look at a picture, pick it, and then they set up an adoption. Oh yeah, I would want one of those just like that.
He's got the best
Is he
squishy
a
face.
lab?
Yeah, he's an English lab.
Yeah.
The beast.
They're so precious.
Oh, I met my neighbor, met a new contact, scared the hell out of her because Moose ran across the street at her and she was screaming with a stick, "Please don't hurt my doggy, please don't hurt my doggy." And I was like, he's more friendly than any person you've ever met. And she was like, okay, great. Oh, it's Renee's cute.
Look at Renee's cat.
Hey, you can't talk when I'm on the call. But I love that Teresa's talking about doing some community-based stuff. Yesterday, we donated another big truckload of Jody's to the Northwest Fire for the water and stuff like that. So giving back and sharing through the community, you just ask them to help as well. Say, hey guys, we got a lot of people in need right now. COVID's kind of resurging. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. So if you need something, let me know. If you can help, let me know, because then just be the conduit. Then let's work with some leverage. That way you're not the only one going out to the store and getting the groceries. You're not the only one going out there and getting the toilet paper. You have people doing so. And I love Jason for this fact, because every time he's at Costco, he calls me up. Hey, do we need anything for the office? Do you know anyone that needs something? Do we have an agent in need, a guest in need, a family in need, anything? So there's always that caring mindset there. So use that leverage with your clients, with your sphere of influence, your friends and family. It's really going to be paramount to helping you be as giving as you can be to your entire community.
I mentioned, mentioning Costco. I was not a member of Costco, and so the neighbor, that's the first thing he wanted to know if I was going to go to Costco. They needed some things from Costco. I'm like, I'm not a member. Oh, well, if you become a member, we could really need. So yesterday I told him, I said, I've applied and I'm going to get my card soon. So as soon as I get it, I'll call you. Oh, good. That's fantastic. So, so he appreciated the fact that I'm doing something just for them. And because I told him, I said, I don't really go to Costco. And he goes, oh, and I could just see he was just so down. Like they must have something special there that they really want. So I went ahead and did that just so I could help them out.
He didn't want to do. Go ahead, Jason.
I was saying, just tell me what they need, and my wife who works there all the time, I'm there all the time. So whatever you need, let me know, and I can get it for you if that helps you.
All right, thanks, Jason. I already
Just say
took the
Costco
plunge
Sam.
and become a member.
Clorox
Awesome.
wipes. I need Clorox wipes.
That's what
Okay.
everyone's
They're out
saying.
everywhere.
I
I'm
ordered some
looking
alcohol
for Clorox wipes for 2 of my coworkers at U of A right now. I'm keeping an eye out.
Okay.
They don't stock the cleaning supplies until nighttime at Walmart, just so you know.
You got to get there really early in the morning.
Or
Or
you
really
go in it.
quick.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing 24 hours anymore. So
They weren't last I knew, but some of them might have changed back.
gotcha.
Oh, I didn't know if anyone knew. I think the mayor said we're under mandatory masks right now.
Yeah, it's
Places.
like it's places that
When did the mandatory mask start?
Yesterday.
tomorrow at 6.
6 a.m. tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 6
Oh,
a.m. Okay.
tomorrow. I thought it was yesterday. Okay.
But
I'm
it's
sorry.
like-
Yeah, Heather was telling me about it yesterday. So
Yeah, you only have to wear it if the places aren't following social distancing. You don't have to wear it at a restaurant if you're eating.
that doesn't make any
First
sense.
responders don't have to.
Yeah,
Or outside.
medical conditions. And
So essentially, it's a default.
well, and it's age 2 and up, but there's no way a 3 or 4-year-old's gonna keep a mask on. So
Well, my son does pretty well with a mask on. The thing is it goes back to the social distancing. So places that aren't social distancing and people are being stupid, then that's why we have to wear masks.
Well, and they're telling people that they're going to get a warning, and then if they possibly could get a citation if they're not doing it.
How are you going to cite me on not wearing a mask?
Yeah, and they're like the first part of enforcement will be education. So,
Well,
You know
plus,
what,
I don't know how they're going to
You
police
can get
it.
around it if you have, I'm saying, if you have medical, anxiety, depression, etc. Sometimes that causes trauma for people. I'm just letting you guys know you can get a medical exemption.
Okay. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, words are tough. Claustrophobia and anxiety go hand in hand with having your face constricted. You don't even have to be in a small space. It's just having the claustrophobia is actually the fear. It's a subtle fear of suffocation. The tight spaces, it causes a heightened respiratory response that you actually will, elicit the same neural response as being suffocated. Don't ask me why I know that. So.
Yeah.
And for that reason, we shouldn't mask shame. Everybody has a different situation.
I got mine right here. Like I'm doing it to support people because I know that just because I'm comfortable with not wearing a mask and just because I'm not elevated risk or I'm not concerned, that I know that my other agents are. I know that there's a few select agents out there that are terrified of all this. I want my agents and my periphery to respect that too. And, when we're at the office, we're going to wear masks as a staff, and we're going to ask agents to do the same thing in the working spaces. If you guys are out in public and you don't wear a mask and someone makes a comment to you, just be polite. If you do wear a mask, then great, whatever. The way I look at it is like a seatbelt. We all wear seatbelts. It's the law. Sometimes we don't. But we all do it now because it just becomes habit. And if something happens and you have your seatbelt on, you're going to be real damn glad you had it on. Otherwise, your friends and family are going to remember that you didn't have it on. So don't mean to bring down the tempo of the conversation, but I think that it needs to be a serious point. And a serious point coming from me, kind of a big deal. I don't like to be serious.
Well, all our open houses, everyone will have to wear a mask when they come into our open houses. It was suggested before, but now it's mandatory. And I have extra masks, so thank goodness I can at least provide some people with them, but I'm not bringing all my masks,
I was wondering about that. Have they said anything about open houses?
No.
They did with Stratton, but that's
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah.
And let's be
I have,
honest,
like, a
I look
pack of-
ridiculous.
I have
But
my.
it's so hard because our facial expressions and smiling at people and being friendly, and then you have the mask on and you just.
Your eyes have to say it all.
And that's one thing we're gonna have to struggle with. And so maybe that could be kind of our scripting point is how do you convey across the same level of attention that you would through mask, because your mask is gonna muffle things. So when in public, you're gonna have a hard time being very gregarious because this right here already shuts down your volume. It already shuts down a lot of things. And you can be like, oh my God, I'm super excited. You don't know if I'm excited or murderous. So, you know where you get it from? The hands. Hey! Versus
With gloves on.
hey! So it's the hands. It's all about the hands. So, hey, how are you doing? You good? Yeah, jazz hands. Scripting is body language too, guys. It's what we talked about. We haven't talked much about it since we've been doing the Zooms, but when we do it in person, I talk a lot about body language, and your intended message is conveyed in tonality and physicality. So smiling, you can hear the voice. So even if you're talking behind a mask, tonality is the pitch and direction that you use. If I ask you a question like, Robin, what are you doing this weekend? Versus Robin, what are you doing this weekend? Same question, way different response requests. Do you want to go to the movies?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't. Like when I ask you, what are you working on? Yeah, I already know. How's it going with that deal? Yeah, I already know. So just remember that when you guys are doing your interactions in person, social distancing is ideal. Wearing a mask is just added benefit to it. But when you're communicating, be more energetic in your motions. I mean, don't flail. We don't want you to be the dude from the air guys in front of the car dealerships. You guys got to laugh more in the mornings. This would start your day off better. But it's gonna be more natural than sitting here. It's very uncomfortable for people to watch somebody just sitting here that has no motion, no movement. Even if my voice is pitching up and down, I'm still engaging you because I'm moving my emotion through my tonality. When I'm moving and shaking and having, more interaction on screen or in person, you're having a much better conversation, a better interaction. Raise your hand if you've had a class or you've dealt with a client or you've had a conversation with somebody that is super monotone, doesn't have any expression, no excitement. And did you remember anything that they said?
Had a hard time
Probably
staying
not.
awake.
I had one of those the other day. It was yesterday or the day before. It was a 3-hour call that I was supposed to be on. I text David. I was like, I really hope someone's taking notes because I can't understand this guy. I'm zoning out. So, and Jay said the same thing. Not everyone should be a presenter or a speaker. That's unfortunate.
True.
True. Well, Chris, are you on with us? Let's hear something from the dark alley people, the people that have their cameras off. Those that are afraid of their morning face. My beard is going 9 different ways. So you guys can turn your cameras on. How's your morning going, Chris?
I cannot complain. Another day in paradise, just glad to be on the call, soaking in all the information I can.
I do warn everybody, even Ellen Gale's people. I was like, you can sit and join the call as much as you want. You may get called on.
I'm fine with that. I just want to soak in anything I can at the moment. Since I'm the rookie, I just want to see how the conversations go and go from there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we do a lot of this. You want to go catch up on some of it. We do have them all up on our website. If you want to Google search or not Google, what's YouTube search Keller Williams Southern Arizona. Okay. Our videos are up there for the scripts and role play, our PC group sessions and stuff like that. So a lot of great information. We've done these classes for the last 4 months now. That's been super helpful. A lot of great content out there, even for a rookie to go and watch some of this stuff. So thank you for being involved. Join in. Have you had any kind of conversations with real estate yet?
Outside of like schooling and all that, no. I'm trying to stay away at the moment. I haven't signed on with the board as of yet. Still trying to take care of that. So I'm trying to do one step at a time, you can say.
Yeah, I want you to get used to telling people, hey, I'm in real estate. I'm a realtor. What do you do? Oh, I sell houses. Cool. What do you do? Oh, I sell houses. Cool.
Yeah.
Tell everybody. I want you guys to do Labrador treatments. And I'm going to say this Labrador treatment because I have one. I've never had to own. I hate the term owning a dog. I've never had a Labrador pet before. Now I have one. So I understand the Labrador treatment even more. Everybody should adopt the Labrador treatment. Super freaking excited to see people. Super energetic and extremely social. They go right up to you. They smile. They wag their tail. They slobber all over you. They just love life. They just want to be petted and touched and talked to and all the attention. I don't want you guys to get petted, touched. I'm just saying. Just follow me a little bit. I saw Robin over there getting real excited. Calm down. It's all about just being that type of person. Get excited. Just be just full of life, full of joy, full of excitement to talk to people, and your lives will change. This morning at 5:30 this morning, my dog jetted across the street twice. Not even a care in the world if an Indy car was going by. He's like, boom, gone. And usually he sits right by me. So I was like, what's up? And there's 2 dogs and a girl. He runs over and he says hi to the dogs. He says hi to the girl. He lays down. He gets all the attention. And he's just loving life, right? Whew. Ladies loving it. She's like, looks like he's coming home with us. Sorry. I was like, yeah, just bring him back when he's hungry. So she laughed. I made a friend. It's my neighbor. Her name is Charity. I don't know where she lives, but she's in my neighborhood because she walks around. I've seen her a couple times. And then I go back to what I was doing, and Moose starts wandering up the street. I was like, call him back. He sits next to me, and I see this lady walking up the street. She's looking kind of timid. She has a stick with her. She's a little black dog. And Moose does the same damn thing. I go to pick up a box, so as soon as my eyes are off him, he bolts across the street, and this lady is terrified. Dead set terrified, like Moose was a Doberman after her blood. Not that Dobermans are bad. I love Dobermans. No, I'm just saying, you guys get the mental image. Guard dog, junkyard dog straight to the fence, right? Well, this lady's screaming, holding her dog, holding a stick, and like just making frantic movements. Oh my God, please don't hurt my dog. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt my dog. I'm running across the street in my flip-flops. You ever seen a big white man run across the street in flip-flops? Terrified. I'm sure that I scared my neighbors and they weren't even up yet. So I'm running across the street and she's just freaking out. And Moose, this whole time, is not reacting to her scared, is not reacting to her frantic moving and baiting on the stick or anything like that. The Labrador treatment. Super, super focused on getting attention, super focused on being friendly and social, and doesn't even notice the negative energy. You guys think you have the same kind of approach to people that they'll break out of their default? And what had happened is a few years ago, a dog did similar, ran up and attacked her dog really badly. So she's scarred for life because of it. Some of your clients and the people you talk to have been scarred and been hurt by salespeople before, so they're going to be very timid to talk to you. They're going to be very afraid. They're going to throw up their defenses. They're going to throw up those, I'm just looking, I'm not interested. You know what, I'm just looking, it's okay. You know, I don't need your help. Stay away from me. Don't hurt me, right? Don't hurt me. And if we come from that same Labrador mentality, no, I'm just here to help. Don't worry. I'm not going to hurt you. Tell me what's got you thinking that way. What's happened in the past to make you feel this way? And sometimes you're going to have to nickel and dime and inch your way to that relationship. It's not just going to be an easy deposit where you're like, hey, I'm a realtor, I'm a customer, let me sell you a house. Sometimes you're going to have to be a Labrador. Sometimes you're going to have to be super positive, and you're going to fight past all the negative BS that they're throwing up and get to the core and make a connection. You want to know something? That every time that lady walks by my house now, she's going to stop and say hi. Every time I'm outside, I guarantee it. Her little dog Zoe will never be afraid of me or Moose again, because Deirdre and Zoe are friends now. There's a little 5-minute conversation, and as she walked away, she's like, I'm sorry, what was your dog's name again? Moose. Oh, that's a cute name. And yours? Dan. She's like, Dan and Moose. Dan and Moose. That's a cute combination. Have a nice day. Like, super nice, super sweet, like completely 180 from where she was 5 minutes before that. And she was smiling more than she was when she was walking up the street to get to me, because she saw a dog in the distance and instantly had that fear complex. So some of your clients and some of the people you interact with are going to see you at a distance and have that same fear complex going, whoa, in the past, this hasn't been good. I'm good. No, thank you. It's on you to work past that. Be a Labrador. Be super exciting. I wouldn't say lick their face. It's probably not going to go off very well. But definitely have that positive response, and you can work through those negative situations. But it all starts with the frame of mind.
I know when I'm doing my circle prospecting, I feel like it's like some of the easier calls I can possibly make, because I don't feel like I'm chasing them for business. I'm kind of on the, I would just be so grateful if they came by and had a look at the house. It would be nice to show them around, and I'd really appreciate it if they'd let me know if they knew anybody who was looking to buy or even possibly sell. So I kind of go with that approach, and it makes it a lot easier to get people to be more responsive and not, just want to hang up on you, or, call you a name and hang up or something like that, So it's kind of going on the side of gratefulness seems to work for me when I'm making my calls, appreciating them for just answering the phone,
Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to take my call.
Yeah.
I love this line. I know your time is valuable, so I'm not going to take much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Angela, thank you for taking my call. My name is Big Dan Caldwell. It's unlikely you know me. I work with Keller Williams. I'm an agent in the area, and we just sold a house in your neighborhood. And I know your time's valuable, so I'm not going to take much of it. I just wanted to let you know that we're going to have an open house on Saturday right at this address, be down the street from your location. Who do you know that might want to live in this neighborhood?
Gosh, you know what? I do know a couple people that really like my house, so they probably would love to live in this area. So what time did you say it was again?
It's going to be Saturday from 11 to 5 p.m. If you want, you can send me their contact information. What I'll do is I'll share all of the material that we have so they can get some information. Now, you said they were interested in your house. Would you be interested in them living in your house and you moving on to something better?
No, I just bought it. I like my house. Thanks, though.
You know, I gotta ask. Hey, if you want to stop by and check out the house, it's always good to see what the neighbors are up to. We'll be there. You can't miss me. I'll have that big black Expedition in the driveway. Expedition. It's an Expedition. In the driveway.
English.
And I would love to meet the neighborhood. You can come by and give me some insight. Hey, one thing, what do you love about your neighborhood?
I like the fact that it's not in the city. It's very far southwest. So it's really quiet nights and just big, dark, star-filled nights, and so I really like it out there. It's very peaceful, and the neighbors are pretty much the same.
That's awesome. That sounds like a beautiful place. I can't wait to be out there and meet some of the more neighbors and get some more insight. If there was one thing you would change, what would it be?
Sometimes the commute, it can get a little long, but otherwise it's worth it once I'm home.
Okay, absolutely. How far do you drive to work?
Well, I work on the east side, and so I live on the southwest side. So I just pretty much have to cut across. But in the beginning, it's not too bad. But it's once I get into the city, that's when it gets a little congested. But I really love it, so I wouldn't change it for anything.
There really is no fast way of getting across town here in Tucson, is there?
No.
Awesome. Well, Miss Angela, I do appreciate your time. If you want, stop on by this weekend. We'll be there on Saturday. If it's a good enough show, we'll be out there Sunday as well. Can't miss my signs. It's a cool looking dude with his fingers out and pointing in one direction.
Awesome. I'll be looking for him.
That's how those calls can be. Even if you don't have an open house, you can just say, hey, ring, hey, this is Big Dan Caldwell, Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. It's unlikely you know who I am, but I just noticed a house just went for sale in your neighborhood, and I was wondering if you might want to know what the value of your house is. Right. So take that for what it is. Go meet your neighbors. We talked about that yesterday. Go out there and come from contribution. What's my favorite term? Don't be interested, or don't be interesting. Be interested, right?
Mm-hmm. I need a job.
People don't care. Yeah, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Your knowledge is worthless until you have a connection. So make a connection. That's easy, especially with you, Chris. You're new. You're excited. You still got that new agent smell. It's all about just getting out there and getting it done. Go make some friends. If you have friends, go let them know you're in real estate. 2 of my friends bought houses in the last month without me. One in Minnesota, one here in Tucson. The one in Minnesota told me, he's like, man, I didn't think you could help me. I didn't think you were licensed in Tucson. I was like, I didn't know you're licensed in Minnesota. I was like, I can't, but I can definitely benefit from the sale of a house out there and help you out. He's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Well, if this deal falls through, I'll cancel and I'll get a new agent with Keller Williams. Okay, cool. And the other one here in town, I let it slide because his girlfriend's or his fiance's dad is a realtor. So I was like, you know what? I'll let this one slide, but tell him he owes me a referral. This is the mafia, people. You run your own family. They owe you a referral. Go get your money. All right, who's gonna go do something awesome today?
Yeah.
I am.
Robin is. Teresa is. Chris, you better. You don't have a choice now.
Yeah.
Renee's already doing something awesome. She did her hair. Put it up. I get to go move heavy things today, so it's gonna be fun. Exactly, Renee. Real big owl. So if you guys need me, even though we're off and closed today, myself, the other support staff, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. Put on the group chat if you need to. Give me a text if you need to. Give me a call if you need to. If I do not answer right away, as soon as I get back to it, I can. So have a blessed Friday. Happy what is it called?
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. So
I don't know what that
forgive
means.
my ignorance. Forgive my ignorance in that. I didn't know what it was until yesterday, so it's not something that's been planted in my brain. I guess it was the final emancipation of the last remaining slaves in Texas.
Ooh.
So it was 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. Words are tough. Essentially, when the president of the United States said no more slavery, 2 years later, people in Texas were like, okay, fine. And this is the day where things officially became a free nation where all men and women were created equally and they were allowed to go out and be on their own. So this is something where we celebrate the finalization of a long history of some terrible, terrible things. And I just want you guys to stay clear of all of that hatred and just love each other. Be kind to each other. I'm not going to stand on a soapbox and talk about it, but that's just how I look at everyday life. Just be good to each other, period. So.
Agreed.
Care about
Do unto others as others have do unto you does not matter, because some of y'all are just crazy masochists and will do some things. So I want you to do unto others as you would have the Lord do to you.
Just pretend he's watching 24/7.
Gary Keller's right here, just working with me all day. He's a little shorter than me, so he's not up here. He's right here, but all day working with me.
Good choice.
I like to be the Labrador.
You can be a Labrador. That was something I heard many, many years ago. I was reminded of it this morning, and it was one of those like aha moments. Like you see grace in everything. You see coaching and training. The more you look for it, you know when you change the things you look at, the things you look at change. So I look for lessons. I look for teaching. I look for coaching because that's what I do for a living. And that lesson was made more prevalent this morning is that Labrador treatment. Treat everyone like a lab. Be excited. I never understood that nearly as much as I do this morning, and just seeing that lady's transition from full-blown panic to petting my dog and saying hi to me and making a friend. So we can change lives. It's just all how we do it.
Another great quality of a Labrador is loyalty. So our clients definitely need our loyalty.
My dog ain't loyal
Looking
to
out.
shit.
He'll go to anybody who gives him some loving.
Anybody that'll pet him. But you're right, Teresa. It's the loyalty of that. Like, if you take care of your people, they'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. Enjoy your Fridays. Be well, be great. Go do something awesome. I want you all to write a contract this weekend. That is your goal. Get one in contract. That a girl. Robin's going to get one. Teresa's going to get one. Jason's going to study his test because next Friday he's taking his test.
Great.
Renee's got inspections today on her first buyer. Woo woo.
Awesome.
30, I don't even know if she's paying attention. She hasn't shown us one bit. And Hope is killing it in the game right now. I got to keep that going. So awesome, guys.
Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye, Dan. Have a good Friday.